I wear this tie very proudly because my wife texted me this morning and said, "You must wear this tie because it matches with your talk." So, migration runs deeply in my blood. My grandfather was born in India. I was born and raised in Nairobi, Kenya. And later, I migrated to the United States. And today, I call Abu Dhabi my home. 4 journeys, 4 landscapes, 4 places that have shaped who I am. And just like me, the Saker falcon is also a migrant. It migrates from Mongolia to China across ancient routes that have been carved in the skies. From the Mongolian steppes to the Tibetan plateau. Now picture the Mongolian steppe, empty, endless, a flat ocean of grass. And sometimes when you're standing there, you feel like the heavens are playing a cosmic joke on you. Because for a place that is so vast, so eternal, unshakable, a single power pole can bring down one of the fastest, fiercest hunters on Earth. Our research team was surveying this landscape when they stopped. Frozen. And there, beneath a pole, lay the most magnificent creature. Wings widespread, forever still, dead. That was X-26, a female Saker falcon. But her story doesn't end here. In an artificial nest that we had built 10 miles away, 4 young chicks waited. They were hungry, they were calling, not knowing that their mother would never return. Her mate, against every instinct, against every evolutionary program, stepped right in. And day after day, hunt after hunt, this male falcon hunted alone. He fed 4 hungry mouths. And today, all 4 are flying on their first migration to the Tibetan plateau. Alive because one falcon refused to give up. That single act of defiance mirrors the choices that we face in conservation today. Here's what's happening as we're sitting in this room. Every 3 seconds, a bird dies of electrocution. That's 10 million birds a year. Let that sink in for a second. In Africa, where I was born, we have lost 3/4 of our raptor populations over the last 3 generations. In a study of 1,000 tracked birds that came to Africa, half of which the mortality was known, died as a result of power lines. This is not a distant problem. This is a global emergency. And just like X-26's mate, we too have a choice. We can sit back and surrender to this tragedy, or we can step right in when life hangs in the balance. 7 years ago, I won the Whitley Award for my work on African vultures. That moment changed everything. Suddenly, I was not a field biologist in the bush. The Whitley Fund believed in me when I was still sleeping in tents, chasing vultures across the savannah, my hands stained in vulture poop, and people didn't even know my name. That belief gave me the courage to dream bigger, to step out of the field into the global conservation arena, where my voice mattered. And it led me here, to Mongolia, to the Mohamed bin Zayed Raptor Conservation Fund in Abu Dhabi, and to the story of X26. Because sometimes one act of faith creates a ripple that changes the world. But X26 was no ordinary falcon. For over 3,000 years, falcons have carried human dreams and power. In ancient Egypt, the falcon-headed god Horus was worshipped just like the skies itself. Centuries later, the great Genghis Khan went to battle as he flew his falcons, and they became emblems of empire. And today, the Seka falcon is the national bird of the United Arab Emirates. And here in Mongolia, it is the nation, as eternal as the horse, as enduring as the steppe. The Seka falcon is not just a bird of prey. It is a bird of kings. It is a bird of nations. It is a bird of empires. And yet, we are killing it in its thousands. Every year in Mongolia, 18,000 raptors die from electrocution, of which 4,000 are Seka falcons. What if I told you that we were able to find a way to turn the tide? When we started our work in Mongolia, every single power pole was a death trap. With Emirati reverence for falconry, we began one of the most ambitious conservation programs in history. Working with herder communities, we installed 5,000 artificial nests that produced 30,000 Seka falcons in the wild. We insulated 27,000 poles, covering 80% of Mongolia's landscape. That's over 3,000 kilometers. And that cut electrocution by 95%. And we invested in people. Hoiga, Agi, Gigi, Sarah, Amatufshin, giving them the confidence to be the leaders that they are today. That is what turning the tide looks like, when science, community, and courage all pull together. With many falcons around, our study site became the landscape of fear. The pesky rodents that degraded the grasslands, they grazed less. They didn't come up to the surface more. And as a result, it gave the grasslands a chance to recover. And these grasslands are not just habitat. They are vital carbon reserves, critical in the fight against climate change. We tracked our falcons from Mongolia to the Tibetan Plateau in China, proving that every safe season in Mongolia caused a ripple effect thousands of kilometers away. Every safe pole, every nest that we built, and every student that we trained, it all adds up to hope with wings. So what does success look like? Success looks like falcons sitting on safe power poles and not dead below. It looks like chicks fledging from nests that are built by human hands but claimed by wild wings. And it looks like herders, scientists, communities, and government working side by side. And it looks like X26's chicks, alive today because one falcon and a global community refused to see them die. The solution is very simple. It's not expensive. It doesn't take decades. It just takes will. So I ask you to remember X26. Remember her mate who refused to give up. And remember the 4 chicks that are now carving their way across Asian skies. Because this is what conservation is. Stepping in when the world is most fragile and giving life a second chance. If Mongolia can do it, so can Kazakhstan, where we are now upscaling our work. So can Kyrgyzstan, India, Africa, anywhere. We can end bird electrocution, not someday, not tomorrow, but right now, because the technology is ready, because the cost is small, and because hope, just like the Seika Falcon, was always meant to fly. Thank you.